Well, he had a building there. It would, if I remember properly, it would probably be 30 feet long, which was a carriage part of it. And then in the other end, and the engine and stuff was there in that area there. And then in the other end was a shingle mill, and where he sawed the laths and everything. Now it was a well-made building. It was shingled with shingles that he sawed right there. And the brook is a nice brook. It's a special brook. The way it comes out is spring-fed, and you could dip water out of there and drink it and one thing and another. And it's just a beautiful spot. Where the carriage was, they put the logs in, they rolled them in on the brow, like to the carriage, and then you step down in a level in the mill. I'd say probably 2.5 feet level, another level. Carriage is similar to what you have here, going back and forth sawing the shingles, only it was bigger because you put a log on it and it sliced the slab off and you made boards. And what you did on this after, when you had if you had a log, you junked it up in 16 or 18, or you could even go 24 inches in pieces, and then you stood them on this and you made shingles. But the logs were anywhere from 8 feet to 10 feet to 12 feet. And 2 engines. I remember one engine was strictly for the carriage and the big saw, which they called the big saw because you're sawing logs, and the other was set up separate by itself, another engine. Actually, I think Uncle Fanning probably had about 3 engines in there, because engines were a pretty popular thing to get. Somebody smashed up an old car, or the car stopped, so you took the engine, put used to it somewhere else. And they could be anywhere from 1930 up to 45, you know. After when the war started, well, there was very few cars anybody could buy a car. So the older cars, they were either used, and when they stopped, somebody would sell the whole car for a couple $100 because it was hard to buy gas, hard to buy tires, and if you couldn't afford to buy those things, why, people sold their cars. They would be GM engines and Dodge, Chrysler engines, or flathead engines, most of them were. The older cars, the 30s, and I think Ford had an overhead valve engine in 40 or 41 and started building V8s. But there was a gap in between engines from probably about 38, 39 through to 45, 46 after the war ended. You had to be your own mechanic. It's like a fisherman. If you get out to sea and the engine stops, you better get it going. The hazards were like the same hazards still there today. If you're going to fall a tree, you should know how to fall it, which way it naturally wants to go, and how you cut it off at the stump, how you notch it. When you're limbing it, you got to limb it properly, or limb can fly and hit you. There's just normal everyday things, and I mean, you hopefully had a horse that wouldn't kick you, and if you did walk around the back of the horse, you kept a distance, you know, or you put them in at night or anything. You just had to respect the horse. You're bigger than you are. I don't think there was many accidents as we have today.